Welcome back to Luxury Auto 1, the channel where we dig into the most jaw-dropping, talked about moments in politics, celebrity culture, and media, the moments that leave audiences stunned, Twitter threads on fire, and entire newsrooms scrambling for soundbites. So buckle up, because this is one story that went from intriguing to explosive in minutes. It all started with what was supposed to be a relatively controlled, pre-scheduled interview. Piers, known for his relentless style and refusal to shy away from uncomfortable questions, had been promoting this appearance all week. The promos hinted at a no-holds-barred conversation, but even the crew didn't expect it to veer off the rails the way it did. The interview began civilly enough. Piers greeted Meghan with a polite but slightly pointed remark about how it's been a while since we last had a chat. Meghan smiled, her composure intact, responding with a subtle jab about how our last conversation didn't exactly end over tea and biscuits. The audience chuckled nervously, already sensing the tension simmering under the surface. Piers eased into the first round of questions, touching on Meghan's philanthropic projects, her upcoming ventures, and her recent public appearances. She answered smoothly, giving carefully crafted responses that stayed within her comfort zone. But Piers, being Piers, wasn't interested in staying there for long. About 12 minutes into the segment, the tone shifted. Piers brought up the lingering controversies surrounding Meghan and Prince Harry's interviews, their statements about the royal family, and their move to the United States. "Do you think," Piers leaned forward, "that you've been completely honest with the public about everything?" Meghan's eyes flickered, she tilted her head slightly, as if weighing whether to take the bait, and then she said it, the comment that would turn the studio atmosphere into a pressure cooker. "Honest," she repeated. "Piers, I've been far more transparent than most people in positions of privilege, certainly more than some British journalists who profit from royal gossip while pretending to be impartial." The audience let out a mix of gasps and awkward laughs. Piers' face tightened. This was no longer a polite exchange, the gloves were off. Piers fired back, reminding Meghan that her public image had been shaped by a mix of her own actions and the media's reporting. "You've painted yourself as a victim," he said, "but isn't it true that you've also used the media to your own advantage when it suits you?" Meghan leaned forward now, her voice sharper. "The difference is, Piers, I've never made a career out of tearing people down just to make headlines. You have." This back and forth went on for several minutes, voices raised, interruptions flying, and the studio audience hanging on every word. Producers in the control room began to shift uncomfortably, exchanging glances. This was quickly moving into territory that could not be salvaged with a commercial break. Then, it happened. Piers pressed her again, asking if she stood by her past accusations against members of the royal family. Meghan's reply was blunt, almost dismissive. "I don't need to justify my experiences to someone who wasn't there, and frankly, your obsession with me says more about you than it does about anything I've said." Piers froze for a moment, then, in that trademark style of his, he leaned back, gestured toward her, and said, "If you can't answer direct questions without attacking the interviewer, you're free to leave." The audience reacted instantly. Some cheered, some booed. Meghan's jaw tightened, and for a split second, it looked like she might continue, but instead, she unhooked her mic, placed it on the desk, and stood up. Her heels clicked sharply against the studio floor as she walked off set, not once looking back. The cameras stayed on Piers, who gave a small shrug and turned back to address the viewers. "Well," he said, "that's one way to end an interview." The control room quickly cut to an unscheduled break, leaving audiences buzzing with what they had just witnessed. Within minutes, social media lit up. Clips of the moment flooded Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Hashtags like #Meghan walks out, #Piers vs Meghan, and #Live TV meltdown began trending worldwide. Pundits, celebrities, and everyday viewers weighed in, with opinions split sharply down the middle. Some praised Meghan for refusing to tolerate what they saw as an antagonistic ambush. Others applauded Piers for holding her accountable in a way few interviewers dared. The online debate became just as heated as the exchange that had sparked it. By the next morning, major news outlets were replaying the walkout on loop. Headlines ranged from "Meghan storms off Piers Morgan's show" to "Live TV clash reignites royal feud." The clip even made its way into late-night comedy monologues, each host adding their own spin on the drama. Behind the scenes, sources claimed that producers had begged Meghan to return after the break. She reportedly refused, citing that the tone of the interview had become hostile and unproductive. Piers, for his part, defended his approach, telling reporters that tough questions are part of the job, and that, if guests can't handle that, maybe live television isn't for them. But the real question remained: what does this moment mean for Meghan's public image, and for Piers' legacy as a broadcaster who thrives on confrontation? In the days following, Meghan issued a statement, carefully worded, but unmistakably firm. She reiterated her commitment to speaking out on issues she cares about, but made it clear she would not engage with interviewers more interested in theatrics than truth. Piers responded in kind, tweeting that he would happily have her back anytime, if she's willing to actually answer the questions next time. It was classic Piers, equal parts challenge and provocation. And that's the thing about moments like this, they don't just disappear, they become part of a larger narrative, shaping careers, fueling debates, and reminding us all of the unpredictable nature of live television. Whether you side with Meghan, Piers, or somewhere in between, one thing's undeniable: this was one of those rare pop culture moments where the mask slipped, the tension broke through, and we all got a raw, unfiltered glimpse into the clash between celebrity and media. This story will likely be revisited for months, maybe even years, in documentaries, interviews, and think pieces about the nature of fame, the role of journalists, and the fine line between accountability and antagonism. And as for Meghan and Piers, well, their paths may cross again, and if they do, you can bet the world will be watching, popcorn in hand, waiting to see who walks out next. So, what do you think? Was Meghan justified in walking out, or was Piers simply doing his job? Whichever side you're on, there's no denying this was one of 2025's most unforgettable live TV moments. And here at Luxury Auto One, we'll be here to break it all down, every time lightning strikes again in the world of high-stakes celebrity drama. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more unbelievable stories just like this one. Because in this business, the truth might set you free, but it's the drama that keeps you coming back for more.